Alright guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today you'll be learning about market structure, and this section will be about just understanding market structures for beginners. So I'm going to be breaking it down step by step, but I also will be breaking it down as easy and as simple as I could for you guys. Alright, so alright, here we go. Understanding market structure. As you see here, I already have this kind of set up so I can make it as easy as for you as possible so y'all could learn. Okay, so market structure is nothing but a natural flow of the market created by higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows. All right, so that's market structure. That's just like the definition of what it is. Okay, so when y'all first get into this and you look at a chart, you just see a whole bunch of lines going everywhere, a whole bunch of candles going everywhere. It just looks like scribbles, right? But when you understand it and you start seeing these patterns on the chart, and you start getting more into it, it's kind of like you already know what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, here we go. So, as you can see right here, this is a bullish market with bullish market structure, meaning buyers are in the market. So, take these notes for now. Buyers are in the market during bullish markets, okay? So, bullish equals uptrend, and that buyers are in the market, okay? Bullish equals we're going up. All right? So here I labeled all the higher highs, all the higher lows. As you can see, higher highs are green, higher lows are yellow. So market came from down here, made a higher high, then comes here, makes a higher low. Why is this green a higher high? Well, it's a higher high because it's higher than this high. You get me? Plain and simple. Higher than the last high, higher high. Okay. And this low is a higher low. Why is it a higher low? Because it's lower. It's higher than the last low, and so on and so forth. All right. So you're only gonna get higher highs and higher lows during an uptrending market, or equals, or a bullish market. Okay. So higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right. So plain and simple, this is market structure. All right. So let me go to this side now, because this is as plain and simple as it gets. This is a bearish market structure. All right, bearish equals there's sellers in the market, it's going down. So when you hear bears, think sells, think red. When you see buyers, you think green, bullish. All right, so I did the same thing here, which I forgot to put here, quick, right here, lower low. All right, lower low, perfect. All right, so here market was coming from a downtrend. It was already coming down, made its lower low right here on this green one, lower high, lower low. And why is it a lower low? Let me put this yellow. Why is this a lower low? All right, simple. Lower than the last low. Why is this a lower high? Simple. Lower than the last high, right? And of course, it gets more complex because there's market structure on every single time frame: the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 3 hour, the 4 hour, the 7 hour, the 30 hour, the day, the month, the week, the year. There's market structure in every time frame. That's why, and it works the same way in every time frame. So you just have to correlate it all to then take your moves. Okay, but this is just so y'all can understand. Okay, so on the 1 minute, oh, high, 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 low, high, 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 low. Oh, we're on a trending market, bullish on the 1 minute. But it doesn't mean you're bullish markets overall or bearish markets overall. You're just on an uptrend on that 1 minute. You can be on the uptrend on the 1 minute and it be a retrace all the way up to a 1 hour lower high, for example. And for those who don't know what retrace is, I will be explaining. All right, look, let me show y'all what a retrace is. Okay, so higher high, right? When it's coming down like this is what we call the retrace. It's retracing. See, this is on a higher time frame and this is on a lower time frame, but overall it's the same move. It's a retrace. You'll see a retrace and it looks like this. You'll see a retrace and it looks like this depending on the time frame. All right, and here the same thing. Where's the retrace? Lower low, then we're retracing up for the push. All right, the market's obviously, so retrace equals the market is breathing to make the real move. All right, so as I was saying, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This is a bearish market. Bearish. All right, so I just want y'all to keep in mind, it's plain and simple. Plain and simple. Bears, so buyers, bulls. And yes, like I was saying, there's different market structures in every time frame. And you could be in a bullish market, right? But in a bearish retrace. Okay. So you could be overall bullish, but it could be bearish on a 5 minute, but bullish on a 1 minute. And overall, it means the market is bullish, but that 5 minute is just like the retrace to get into the real move. All right. For me, you never want to take advantage. You never want to take advantage of this move. Look, let me show y'all. Y'all never want to take advantage of this move. You always want to take advantage of the push. All right. Breathe, push. Breathe, push. Breathe, push. All right. That's what I want. That's one thing I do want y'all to keep in mind. And I'll never, well, I never say never, because there's times where everything makes sense and I do enter on a counter trend, which the counter trend is this retrace right here. Okay. So counter trend just means if the trend is up, a counter trend would be on a lower time frame when it's going down. And on for this side, if the overall for the bears, if the overall trend is lower lows and lower highs, the counter trend will be it making higher highs and higher lows on a on a lower time frame. All right. So yeah, I know that got a little bit complicated, but plain and simple is what I've been explaining to you right here. So okay. Okay, understanding market structure, I got that. I told you guys higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. Right? I told you about the retraces. One thing I want to tell you about is structure is king. Like structure is number one. This is why I'm introducing this to y'all, like understanding market structure, because it's the number one thing that I watch for, and the number one thing in when I look for a trade, when I look for a setup. Market structure. What's the overall market structure? Okay, bullish. The overall market structure is bullish. All right. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for buys. Okay. If the overall structure is bearish, then I'm looking for sells. It's plain and simple. I've 95 to 98, 99% of the time, I will be going with trends. I will be going with trends. The trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. All right. So you can write that down. The trend is your friend. Always flow with the trend, because think about it like this: if the market is overall going up, right, why would you sell the market and go against the majority of the players inside the market? It makes no sense. You're just gonna get crushed. For sellers, if it's a downtrend overall, right, on the 4 hour, on the daily, on the big boy time frames, all right, why are you taking buys? Why are you taking buys? It doesn't make no sense for you to take a buy. You're going against the whole army. You're going against the majority of people. All right, so the trend is your friend. And one more thing I want y'all to write down is there's more continuations in the market than reversals. All right, meaning more times the market will continue following the trend than reversing. That's what I want you to write down. All right, so another thing I wanted to say is that structure only changes when a higher low is broken on an uptrend or a lower high is broken on a downtrend. Write that down. Structure is only broken when a higher low is I mean, structure only changes when a higher low on an uptrend is broken or a lower high on a downtrend is broken. I'll give you an example right now. Okay, boom. All right, so you see this? We're on a higher high, right? If this would go like this, boom, then this structure right here is broken. This is a broken structure. So what are we looking for? Once the structure breaks, sells. Right here, this already turned into, if this is the 1 hour or the 2 hour or the 4 hour, of course you got to correlate them and see if it's actually broken, which that's more complex, and I have to break down how to do that on a longer video. But if this breaks, which is the higher low, structure is broken, and now what are we doing? We're looking for sells now here, okay? We're looking for sells now. Okay? Market completely shifted. Why? Structure was broken and it started creating lower highs. So this was a lower low right there. Okay? Boom. For this side, when is structure broken? Boom, boom, boom. Structure would be broken if right here. Boom. Okay, I can't do it. All right. Structure is broken on this side if it goes breaks this structure right there. This is broken structure. So that'll be when we think, okay, it's transitioning into a bullish market. Obviously, depending on the time frames and all of that, you do have to correlate time frames, which I will be having another video on time frame correlation, which is one of the most important things for me in this trading, since I trade price action, confluence trading, market structure, like just candlesticks. Like I don't trade no ICT, no SMC, no SMT, no traps, no fair value gaps, no IVG, no SMC, no none of that. Market structure, because market structure and price action, and if you could read the chart just plain, I don't need no indicators on my chart. I trade with two indicators, which are volume, which the whole world uses, and the MA, which it's a certain number of MA, a certain number of MA. Okay, so I explained to y'all this. So what do we have? We had the shift right here when it broke. But when we had this higher low right here, it confirmed it that market is shifting up, just like this. Broke, made the first lower high up, but it broke, and the buyers don't have no more momentum to pushing up. Okay, boom. Okay, so when this happens, a lot of the times when you correlate, this is where you're gonna enter for a sell. Just like this is where you're gonna enter for a buy right here. All right. Also, okay, shown by, let me see. Okay, so anything else? Overall, I wanted to make this video just plain simple, easy, and not too long, because I actually want y'all to see the video and look at it. But bullish market structure, buyers in the market. Bearish market structure, sellers in the market. Okay, bearish market structure, sellers in market. Of course, overall, there's more in-depth explanation and a lot more that I could talk to you about this. But overall, I wanted just to introduce this to y'all and make this video as short as I possibly could and give you some type of understanding. So if for those of you that are just starting and trying to get into this, I didn't want to make this too complex, and as y'all can see, sometimes I went a little off track and it started getting a little complicated. But overall, I try to make this as simple as possible for y'all. There will be more videos breaking this down and going more in depth of like correlating the time frames and stuff like that with market structures on different time frames and stuff like that. But overall, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some value for it, because honestly, that's why I do this for. I want y'all to get as much value as possible and understand as much as possible. Leave questions in the comments, drop a like, subscribe. But I honestly want y'all to drop some questions in the comments. What do you want to see? What type of videos do you want to see next? What if you have any questions about this? I'm more than open to just explaining it to you. Like, hit me directly on DM through Instagram. My Instagram is VVSLOUU, and yeah, just drop some comments, drop some questions. I will be replying back to y'all, and yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and stay tuned to the next one. Thank you. I love y'all. I don't know why I did that, but I have to end it up. I have to end it over here. That was kind of for no reason. But yeah, thank y'all.